Hello.
And welcome to another episode of Shots, the movie review podcast by filmmakers. We're still figuring out the setup right now. We've had 3 coffees.
We didn't break the camera on the bottom right or left.
Yeah, that's a phone call to our assistant, Amanda Lachlan, after this.
Correct.
Today's movie is Nightmare Alley.
And it's phenomenal, and everyone should go watch it.
Yeah.
Truly.
It's a 2021 film by Guillermo del Toro. He's the director, writer, but just the writer of the new screenplay. Because this is a film that came out in the 40s, and it was a book.
An adaptation, if you will.
Adaptation. He knows the film terms.
Yes.
The movie is starring Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, William Dafoe, Richard Jenkins, and Mary Steinberger, which are the stepbrothers'
True.
parents.
And Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman, Rooney Mara.
Star-studded cast.
Star-studded cast.
Dude, it's so right out the gate, Guillermo del Toro can make a movie. It's so interesting to see, that group of people who can just make a movie.
Yeah.
And,
it's going to be good.
You know everything, all, the basic stuff that goes wrong in movies in general. These directors are just going to do as much as they can right. They're not in total control, but they're in, it's just so much more control of the situation than, dare I say, an inexperienced director.
It's it's not going to be lower than a 6.
Yeah.
When I
Usually.
when I go see a Tarantino movie, an Edgar Wright movie, I know it's at least going to be at a par of good.
Last Night in Soho wasn't good.
It wasn't good for Edgar Wright, but it was better than a lot of people's films.
Sure.
This is controversial, but I believe right now every movie that comes out is just nah, that was a movie.
Yeah, come and go. Never gonna watch it again. I was oh, that was fun. It was nothing.
I'm not gonna buy that movie.
A lot of movie by committee, which sometimes works, but it hasn't worked in a lot.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other discussion of.
Back to Nightmare Alley.
Yes.
Max and I were lucky enough, thank you to Screen Actors Guild, we were sent a screener for Nightmare Alley, which we got to view, so that's why we got to view it. And it was a film noir shot in color, drama, thriller, mystery, and going in, I feel like every act was so different on this roller coaster of a ride that I was intrigued. I truly didn't know what was going to happen next.
Yeah, 100% in terms of you're totally in it. Sometimes when you don't know what's going to happen next, you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
What the heck am I watching? Sorry. But this was I want to know what is happening next because this is getting wild.
And I feel too, there were so many Easter eggs or really well done character arcs that I think was also choices by Guillermo. Just trying to make sure I pronounce it. I'm working on my pronunciation for people.
Shout out to Southern accents.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper's character, the first 10 minutes, this is not really a spoiler, but he doesn't speak at all. He has no dialogue, but he says so much with his character. And then by the end of the movie, it comes so full circle with him that you're like, wow, that was an amazing character arc.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Cate Blanchett, her whole character arc was incredible.
And she was only in it for so
2
much.
acts.
Exactly.
And you knew she was shitty, but you didn't know why. Yeah. And then you're like, oh.
It was a pleasure to watch. Literally, we're just talking about, doesn't talk the first 10 minutes, but you understand every decision that character is making.
Yeah.
You're I understand why he's doing X, Y, and Z.
Motivation was,
whether it's right or wrong.
Even Ron Perlman, who was mainly focused in the first act, his character, he was very clear in his motivation, I felt
Subtle details, all that stuff. Just enough.
Pleasure to watch on screen.
Yes.
I think you're the one that said this when we watched it. You enjoyed, which I agree, the world that was built.
Great world building, believable world building.
Mm-hmm.
Not over-the-top craziness, just it is what it is sort of thing.
It's not scary, but it's a great thriller.
Let's go. Is the ending scary? It's not.
No.
It's not.
Because everything's believable.
Everything's believable, so it's not a horror.
It's thrill. Like you're on the edge of your seat.
It's thriller.
It's a roller coaster. It feels like a roller coaster ride to me.
Yeah.
Of like.
It's intense. Well, that's like if, let's say, a woman named Baba or Lindsay is watching it.
Yeah.
It's violent. In the end, the end gets hardcore.
Yeah.
Like Guillermo del Toro's not shying away. Yeah, it's violent and kind of hardcore, not like Hollywood violence. It's like, oh,
this is the 40s.
That's how it happens, huh? But yeah, not horror. I guess no one said it was. I'm just thinking out loud. But it's hardcore. The ending is hardcore.
It's definitely a rated R movie.
Yeah.
But it's justified. I think every character is justified at the end, and what they get they deserved.
You go.
I think, and this is coming from someone that doesn't work in camera, you know more. I thought sticking with Guillermo's he's very into greens and blues. You know, he did The Shape of Water, and that really showed through after the first act when it went into the city. Like, you really saw his choices in coloring the movie. I thought the cinematography was phenomenal.
Totally. Yeah, the color tones of the carnival world, then you shift to the bright lights of the city and stuff like that. It all, and then when it gets a little dark, it's all very dark, icy blue.
With like the snow as a
great snow shots. Yeah. Great Cate Blanchett office with her therapist chair.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal. She's so good. All right, just because that's where my mind's going all of a sudden, because we've already slobbed this off a little. Bradley Cooper. Oh, spoiler?
It's fine.
Spoiler's still a thing.
Spoilers.
Little spoilers.
You're still going to want to see it, even if we spoil some stuff.
The whole getting him drinking, I guess it's all perfect. I guess this movie's really good in terms of, I was hesitant to be like, oh, he doesn't drink, his character doesn't drink, and then something makes him drink. And it makes total sense in the movie of the world because he's doing a different bad thing, and that's what gets him the beautiful brown liquor smell up his nose, and then he's like, maybe I will have a drink, and that doesn't go well.
And it's such a film noir.
And it works, is what I'm saying.
People argue it's not film noir because it's not black and white and all these things, but it is. And I like the choice of them keeping it in color because it's a classic, like, ambitious, poor chap tries to gain reputation with money and then it, like, always back... Because, like, it's a classic con artist type of
rags to
movie.
riches to rags.
Rags to riches to rags. And it is a... What is it? It's a cautionary tale at the beginning when there's a character named Pete who gives Bradley Cooper advice and gives him, like, this cautionary piece of advice that he just one-offs. And it isn't until the third act that it, like, hits... that
your character has gone insane.
Yeah, your character has literally...
Well, he believes that he is God, essentially.
Yeah, he plays right into what he was warned about. And so it's so sweet. The last 5 minutes of you're like, wow, karmic debt.
Yeah, and he's...
Karmic debt.
The Pete character says it. You're like, yeah, that's probably going to come back. But it's all so... It's not even... It's subtle, but it's just perfectly, again, flowing... Everything works. Like, he's getting a little power crazy, but it's like, yeah, this character would lose sight of what matters, which is the Mara.
So Toni Collette plays Xena, who's in the first act mainly.
She's awesome. Always awesome.
I think that's some of her best acting I've seen in a long time.
Hereditary, yeah.
Hereditary, true. But she plays a character named Xena, who is a fortune teller. Her husband is Pete, and... there's a parallel, and if you watch the movie, you're going to see it. The way their characters look on screen, Bradley Cooper and Cate Blanchett then suddenly begin to mirror their look in the second and third act, which I think is such a subtle, like, costumes, hair and makeup choice that works so well, but you don't notice it.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, and you're like, wow, that was such a distinct choice.
Why? Yeah, Dawn, I'm agreeing. I'm still trying to pick out what I don't like about it, which, again, isn't a lot.
Wasn't enough William Dafoe.
Not enough didn't utilize Willem Dafoe and Ron Perlman enough, but they did.
Do you want to know a fun fact I saw?
Yes.
So, the movie is shot in Ontario, Canada, and a little bit of New York. The first act is all at a carnival. That whole first act was shot after the pandemic. So they shot everything. The second and third were shot before COVID. The first act was shot after COVID, and it gave Bradley Cooper time to lose 15 pounds before that. So that's why he looks so thin.
Oh, all right. That's a great fact. Taking it in. I agree with you. My complaint, my disagreement is, and Bradley Cooper's great, his character is supposed to be a young man.
Do you want to know something else I saw when I was
What?
reading about this?
And Bradley Cooper's not a young man. He's awesome. He's great. Give him
He was
awards.
great. He was supposed to be playing like a 25 to 30-year-old, and he's clearly a 42. Do you know who this was supposed to go out to? Who denied
Robert Pattinson.
No. It's very clear. Like if you think someone who does period pieces that
Edward Norton.
that are dark.
Edward Norton?
No.
Who?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's not a good choice either for this.
No.
He,
It's too Shutter Island for him.
These people, I love them all. Too old to play.
Give a young one a chance.
It's like, it's fine if you're playing 20-year-olds into high school movies. It's not fine.
So I wouldn't want to see Robert Pattinson in it, though, because he's already done a circus movie.
He did already do a circus.
Who would you
Elephant
cast?
Talks? What was it?
Water for Elephants?
Water for Elephants.
Who would you cast as
What? But he's still young, and dude, he fucking
Little Cricket?
he crushed Tenet very well, and Lighthouse,
Yeah.
which I know some people don't like, but they're morons. Young dude. What about our kick-ass guy who shows up in that Jake Gyllenhaal movie? I haven't seen him in enough.
Yeah, Taylor Green? Taylor
Dude,
something?
what about
Aaron
Deepwater
Taylor
Boy?
Green.
What about Deepwater Boy?
Dylan O'Brien?
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien could do it. He has a period piece look.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of lost souls wandering the streets of Hollywood that might have been able to do that. But they're not Bradley Cooper, I get it. It's the same thing we rant about with Denzel Washington in Equalizer 2, where it's a 79-year-old man beating up. Or Cry Macho when
Well, I also feel like
99-year-old man.
when you have such a star-studded cast, I mean like Ron Perlman, Willem Dafoe, Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette,
Mara.
give the young chap the chance for the lead.
Give the young chap a chance for the lead. I know I understand where a studio could come in and be like, "Yo, we need everything here." Yeah. I don't know. And it's not like this wasn't a risk. It's just.
It was great though.
It was great. Go see it.
Nightmare Alley, I would give a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, huh?
Yeah.
A 9 out of 10, huh? I'd give it 8.7.
All right.
Out of 10. I'll think of something I didn't like about it and bring it up later. Bradley.
We're going to agree on an 8.8.
Sure.
All right. Nightmare Alley is available in theaters and on Hulu. I suggest everyone watch it. It's a little gory at the end, but great family thriller, not too scary. This has been another episode of Shots. We'll see you next time.
Peace.